Hey everyone, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Going to look at the song Cantaloupe Island just to talk about an altered pentatonic scale. Now, that's the song. It really takes two people to play this because somebody's got to play the melody. But if you're improvising on this song, say you're in F minor, this song feels like a blues to me. It doesn't really follow the blues form, but there are just certain things about certain songs that make them feel like a blues, and this is one of them. So we're on this F minor, like a minor blues. All right, and we're using the blues scale. Now, when I teach the blues scale to students, for some reason, they like to get onto this note and just wail away on that note. Oh, it sounds so bad. Because this note is spice. This is not like the meat and potatoes of your line. This is like a spicy note. Right? It spices up this note or spices up that note. All right? So, one way to get them to quit beating on that note is to don't play that note. And then you get a pentatonic scale. All right, now, it's very common to call this a minor pentatonic, but, it is just it's one of the modes of the A-flat pentatonic scale. And that's another thing, too. It's one of my most popular videos is about pentatonic scales. There's a link to it there if you want to check it out. But when I studied this with my teacher, Ted Howe, he wanted me to learn all the modes of it. So it would be like, no, wrong, sorry. See, I didn't learn it. Right? All right, that would be like starting on B flat. I don't know, you'd use it for some kind of B flat chord maybe. And then a C. Learn it that way, and learn it this way on E flat. And then, am I still doing the right one? I hope so. And then on F, and this mode gives you that, what most people are now calling a minor pentatonic. When you're on the F minor, just use the minor pentatonic and only include that note once in a while for a little bit of spice. All right, that's just a random line there with no timing or anything, so just wiggling my fingers basically. Now, the next chord, D flat. And this is why it feels like a blues, I mean, blues doesn't go to D flat chord, but it usually goes to the 4 chord. But this is kind of like a variation. It feels like a blues. And what can we use for the scale? Let's use the blues scale again. Same one, F. All right, that note sounds pretty good now. And then this one doesn't. So instead of leaving out the spicy note, let's leave this one out. And then we get a pentatonic scale, right? Because there's only 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start over again on F. But it is not one of the modes of that major pentatonic scale. It is like an altered pentatonic. Right? And you could say it comes from the Lydian dominant scale maybe, or whatever. So, but the minor pentatonic comes from like Dorian mode too, so, or natural minor, either one. So there's our altered pentatonic, and you could use that on D flat 7th. There's probably other places you could use that as well. I'm trying to find one, but so far haven't. Oh, over a G7th, yeah. All right, so we had D flat and G, so the tritone away. That makes sense, all right? How about E? It kind of works. All those notes are in oh, not that one, though. I said most of them are in the altered dominant. So anyway, we found two chords that works on, the D flat and the tritone away. Now, if you think this is useful, you want to take this in all keys, right? So, you want to think maybe the C blues scale, right? All right. So if we take out the fifth and have an altered scale. Now, one reason why people play pentatonics is because most of them you can play very, very quickly, and sometimes, you need some speed. We all have a need for speed. But some of them are harder to play than others, like, one all on the black keys, or like B is kind of a hard one to get your fingers around. But most of them, you can play pretty fast. All of them you can play fast if you work on it. So anyway, we were doing the C blues scale in C. So we know this will also work when we go down to the A flat. That's just like the other song, right? We went from F minor down to D flat. So we're going from C minor down to A flat. All right? And we don't want that note. So just this. Yeah, and you could fly on that. So 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. Anytime you just use 3 fingers, you can go fast. All right? And then we also know that that'll work a tritone away. Right? Like on a D7th. All right? So this is an altered pentatonic. There are others. It's an area of study that you could probably spend quite a lot of time and get very deep into it, but there's just a little introduction to altered pentatonics. What did I do wrong? And of course, for this song, you want to know McCoy Tyner's most famous quartal voicings. Though this one and this one are the only ones that look like quartal voicings, because this one, that's not a fourth. That's a augmented fourth. But this one could be considered a fourth voicing, because if you take the B, see, that's a third, but if you put that B down here, see, you got fourths. So same with this one too. So even though it has a third, it sounds quarterly. It's very quarterly. A great way to support the channel is over there on Patreon, because you can sign up for as little as, like, I think $1 a month, really. And you could even jump on and jump off before the pay cycle hits. But you could, I shouldn't tell you this. And you can pay any way you're comfortable paying. I assume they take, credit cards or debit cards or e-checks or Venmo or PayPal or whatever. I'm not really sure, but I would think that they would take all forms of payment. And it's very easy to unsubscribe as well. You can be on there for a few months. And, mostly it's just I put stuff up there before I put it on YouTube, let my patrons, comment on it and make suggestions. Sometimes they'll catch a mistake or something. So, but I have a few people over there that interact with me and ask me for things, and I'll put some stuff up there just for them. So, if you need a little help with something and want to support the channel, Patreon's a great way to do it. Okay, thanks everyone. See you again real soon, right back here on the same channel.